What is up, y'all? Capone Tony here, and welcome to another Ever Crisis video. And once again, welcome to our weekly content updates in Ever Crisis. Got a few things to go through here in the notices. We have the return of the Ever Crisis Academy draw. This was a draw that appeared last May. It was actually kind of like soft announced on April Fool's Day. It was supposed to be an April Fool's prank, but it actually became a real event, which was actually pretty cool. This is actually a very, very nice draw too. Like when it came to a bunch of guaranteed copies of weapons and stuff, it was very easy to OB10 some of these weapons. So yeah, that's returning. Also, there is the damage ranking that's coming next week. We got some frenzy battles for free crystals essentially, and then we have the part 2 of the Dirge of Cerberus event, which has a little bit extra, a little something extra to it, which is actually I need to cover. It's pretty exciting. Well, it's pretty funny. So definitely stay tuned for that portion of the video. But first, yeah, there is no new draw, so let's just go over the Ever Crisis Academy draw. They did enhance these weapons, and then they also enhanced the costumes as well. So, well, they didn't really enhance the weapons. They actually gave the weapons customization, so they are, kind of enhanced, right? So the costume though was enhanced by having a C ability now. So Tifa's costume, the 7th high school uniform, does a +2 ATB gauge all allies and 2000% physical wind damage to a single enemy. It gets 2 uses. So yeah, like nothing crazy, but it's a little something extra, right? I think if you have the costumes already, you'll obviously take the little bonus, but I don't think it's crazy enough to warrant someone to want to pull on this for the first time, unless you just love the aesthetic and whatnot. You're more newer to the game, you missed out on this event before, then yeah, you can come back and get this costume. But the C ability is nothing, insane, but it's better than nothing, right? We got the physical magic defense +20%. I think that was improved to 15 points. And then we have the Omni Arcanum. You get 15% HP, wind damage +30%, and physical ability damage +20%. So pretty much just a wind outfit here for Tifa. Also her weapon. Yeah, we'll just cover the costume and the weapon back to back for each character. So Tifa's weapon, we'll just kind of go through this quickly since these are older weapons. It maxed out at 1060% physical wind damage. So as you can see, it's a weapon that's pretty much a year old, almost a year old. So the damage on these things was a lot lower than the typical 1340. Or actually, we're getting weapons in the 1600s now if you get it to OB10. So yeah, pretty crazy with the custom. Yeah, it's 1340, but with the customization, it can get to 1600, right? So yeah, weapons have gotten a lot stronger since these weapons were announced about a year ago. And it also had P attack increase AOE mid to high, 46 42 on the P attack wind potency, and then X sigil boost, P attack boost. The customization is something brand new to the weapon. So if you use the spade custom, you'll get a physical defense down at OB1. It goes low to mid, goes mid to high at OB6, and also mid to high at OB6 as well, or OB10 as well. So a little extra, part of the C ability gets added for if you use the spade custom. If you use the diamond custom, you'll get ultimate wind interruption, which at OB10 you'll get 100%, or you get 20 points, which will give you 100% wind damage, wind ability damage when you interrupt the enemy, when you break their sigil phase. So if the battle has a sigil phase, more likely than not, I would say you're probably going to use this custom. And then spade, yeah, if it doesn't have a sigil phase, then there's no point of this. Then you might as well just get the extra physical defense down with the spade custom. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the weapon. Nothing crazy. It's an older DPS weapon for Tifa. I still use it to this day because I don't have anything that's better for physical wind, I don't think, as of yet. Vincent got a physical wind weapon recently, but I'm still working on it at the moment. So at the moment, I'm still using Tifa with this the class president's bracelet. So that's Tifa. Let's go to Aerith. Her costume got 1000% magic water damage, all enemies. Also, physical defense is decreased, all enemies high. And magic defense is decreased, all enemies high. 60 seconds on both. So, just double defense down. Again, it's nothing crazy, but it is nice to have, I guess, It gives her more flexibility, maybe, when it comes to team building in certain ways, If she won't have to have a weapon that has physical defense or magic defense down. She can equip one of her other billion weapons that could be better in slot, right? Or, you know, another support character won't have to have physical defense, magic defense down, you know what I'm saying? So just a little extra flexibility on the C ability, but again, nothing that's like crazy or anything. You get 2 uses also. She also has the Omni Arcanum, water ability damage 30%, magic ability damage plus 20%, and physical magic defense plus 15%. Was that always like that? What was it, HP? Well, I guess it makes sense because she's getting HP on the first R ability, which is really dumb. Why are we getting boost HP on a like limited collab outfit? I don't know. I don't know what AppleBot was thinking with that one. But level 3, you do get a 30% HP boost. So that is the Aerith costume. So yeah, her weapon though, the bamboo sword. This was an interesting weapon because I felt like you either get 1 copy or you go to OB10. You didn't really get much of an improvement between the two. And the problem with this weapon was because at OB6, it only still went to mid when it came to the water damage up AOE. And you only get to high at OB10. So yeah, I felt like you either get a copy of this weapon or you go to OB10. There was no in between on this one. So, because the actual damage on the weapon is nothing like significant, it's nothing crazy. It was kind of just used for like 1 guild battle essentially, and it was because there's 2 enemies in the guild battle. But even then, the damage wasn't like super significant when it came to this weapon. You know, you get the what 700, was it 560 times 530 times 1.4? That's nothing like outrageous or anything. You get magic attack, water boost as well, circle sigil boost. Magic attack boost, heal boost. So yeah, again, like nothing crazy about this weapon, but it did get a spade custom. Spade custom gives you first use haste AOE for 15 seconds if it's at OB10 or OB6. OB1 you get it for 10 seconds. Again, nothing like crazy on the enhancement, but it's there. And the diamond custom gives you a stream phase amplify healing, so 20 points here. It gives you pretty much a much bigger heal for 3 times for 60-second duration, so or up to 3 times or 60-second duration. So again, nothing insanely, you know, crazy or anything, but it is nice that these weapons did get some enhancements. And there are not many water damage up AoE weapons in this game at the moment. I think there's like a couple. I think Sephiroth has one, and there's other ones that are like single target. I think Tifa has one that's like single target, but there's no AoE ones except I think the Sephiroth one and this one. So if you are missing that kind of weapon for your water teams, this is not a bad idea to at least grab a copy or go to OB10 because like I said, these banners, these draws are more friendly when it comes to OB10. You can, because there's so many guaranteed copies on these pages. So that is a good thing about these draws, at least. Bad thing is we just came off of 2.5-year anniversary, and I'm sure a lot of people are still broke, right? So that is the unfortunate thing. But these banners will be around till April 29th, so you can recruit some crystals and then maybe come back to draw this if you want to. I always say I don't think it's really worth going back to old banners. Well, I don't have to for me because I drew on Aerith and Tifa. I got them both to OB10. I skipped Barret, but yeah, I always say I never go backwards in this game when it comes to getting older weapons and stuff, but at least it is nice they did have like some kind of enhancements on these weapons. I'm not really sure if it's worth going back. That's up to you and whatnot. So, but they are nice aesthetics too. I think the Aerith bully is kind of a badass. Too bad in the story she was like kind of like Weenie Hut Juniors though. She was the softest bully. Well, she was just like a badass, right? And then Tifa, schoolgirl Tifa. I'm sure a lot of people will love that. Barret was pretty cool too because he was like the gym teacher. He has like a fan for his arm. So his costume is 1000% physical wind damage all enemies, and then provoke for 60 seconds. Also, earth resist is increased high to high for 30 seconds. Get 2 uses. So I actually think this might be one of the better C abilities, to be honest. Mainly because Barret doesn't have a lot of weapons that do provoke, especially when it comes to does his newest weapon do provoke? I totally forgot, but it always is nice to give him more stuff that does provoke because he is a tank. And then earth resist is increased high. It's pretty nice because if you're using Barret with this costume, the wind setup, most likely you're fighting an enemy that's earth, right? So it's kind of like a double whammy. You're gonna be able to like decrease the enemy's wind resistance while also increasing your earth resistance on your party. So pretty neat. It makes you more tankier and makes the enemy take more damage. So yeah, the costume here, physical magic defense plus 20%, and on the Arcanum for wind. So physical wind, pretty much. So physical wind 20, yeah, physical damage 20%, wind 30%, 15% HP. The weapon, how it got enhanced. So at OB10, 500. This weapon at OB10 does 500% physical wind damage all enemies. Also, wind resist is decreased all enemies, and it does a veil as well. And that is pretty cool because the weapon has veil, costume has provoke. It's always nice to have on a tank. The spade custom that is brand new is actually kind of nice. It does wind damage is increased 30 seconds high to high for all allies. So that's actually really nice. I think what Zack's costume, his newest costume, does wind damage up AoE, but outside of that, there is not a lot of characters that do it. I think it's Red 13 mainly is the guy that does it a lot, but yeah, I think you have to have the new Zack costume for wind damage up AoE, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm remembering correctly. Maybe I'm misremembering. But yeah, that is nice that this is actually a nice enhancement. I actually think this is probably the best enhancement out of all three of these weapons, to be honest. So spade custom for Barrett's pretty good. And then we get the stream phase physical resistance boost, which is just during the sigil phase, he gets up to a 30% physical resistance, which is fine, I guess. I mean, I don't think it's anything crazy because Barrett's already a tank. How much more tankier does he need to be? And this is not AoE either. This would be a lot better if it was AoE, but it's only to himself. I think in most cases you'll probably be using the spade custom for this weapon if you're using him. So you get the wind resist down, you get the wind damage up AoE, you also get wind damage on the weapon, you also get the earth resistance is up on your whole party with the costume. So I think that's actually a pretty nice setup overall for Barrett. I would actually somewhat consider this because Barrett's so neglected and I love Barrett, but the problem with Barrett is it's so hard to fit him in teams nowadays. I would love to support him more in this game, but it's hard to fit him into parties when he never gets any support, right? So that's the problem with Barrett. I just don't really use tanks in general most of the time in this game. I mean, there's definitely battles that need them. I think Glenn has actually been used a lot more as a tank recently because he's been getting a lot more support compared to Barrett, and even Angeal's gotten some weapons too recently. Just Barrett, he's kind of, unfortunately, he's always getting screwed over. Unfortunate because he's an awesome character. But, yeah, that's pretty much it. Like I said, the stamp cards are amazing on these banners, so you can get a guaranteed OB6 and a costume by pulling one page. Well, it's not guaranteed OB6, it's a guaranteed OB4 if you just focus on one character. But it does give you guarantees if you just keep on going, up to 4 pages of full guarantees. And then it starts to get, and then the EX pages, even the EX pages give you guarantees, which is actually kind of insane. You never see EX pages giving you the option for more guaranteed copies, so interesting. So, but yeah, you get 4 pages. So yeah, if you missed this event back in the day, and it's like, damn, you want to get some of these weapons, then yeah, go for it. But for me personally, I already have 2 of these weapons OB10. Like I said, Barrett always gets neglected, so I'm not gonna pull on him because I'm probably never gonna use his kit anyways. So, yeah, it's just hard to fit him into more lineups, especially when you got support Zack, who's amazing nowadays. I'm putting him in more lineups. And Aerith, I hardly ever bench. And then I got the DPS. So that's kind of most of my teams nowadays. So, yeah, that is pretty much the Ever Crisis Academy banners. What do y'all think of these banners? Are y'all happy that these came back? Are you going to pull on these to see, if you miss these, are you going to pull on these? Are you going to maybe push some of these OB10 if you didn't before? Let me know in the comment section below. All right, that's going to cover it for the Ever Crisis Academy rerun. Pretty cool to see that again. And now we got damage ranking, Demon Masamune. So, fuck this fucking old guy, man. I'm sick of this old guy. How many times we got to teach you this lesson, old man? So water element is effective against Demon Masamune. So yeah. And that kind of works because with Aerith, you know, like I said, not many characters in this game can do water damage up AOE. So if you are missing that weapon for Aerith, that will probably help you for this battle. If you don't have the Sephiroth weapon that does water damage up. So yeah, water elements is effective. When it comes to DPSs for water though, it depends on if it's physical water or magic water. I hope it's physical water because I think my Tifa would be best in slot in that case. If it's magic water, I don't know. Might be kind of screwed. I think I would have to use OB6 of the FF13 Sephiroth. Not FF13, FF6 Sephiroth. Edgar, right? But that is next week, right? April 8th, yeah. So, damage ranking, Demon Masamune. Also, we got the Great Hunts for the Frenzy battles, or yeah, it was for the Crash battles. So let's check those out real quick. I did not do them yet. We got 2 of them. Shout out to, I know a few of these people. FaZe, Abood. Too bad both of them retired recently. Great players. Honestly, FaZe probably one of the best players in this entire game. Alshalant. Shout out to Alshalant, man. Does videos now. Does a lot of content. Check out Alshalant's channel. Does a lot of Ever Crisis content, honestly. So yeah, let's get into it. Bring your best team and one-shot this bastard. Unless it's like an April Fool's thing and this Cactar kills us. Nope, Earth Breach kills. Also, damn it, I kind of spoiled something. Yeah, okay. Semi-spoilers. Oh, that was 3,000 crystals? Oh, shite. Very nice. 3,000 crystals. Yeah, definitely do this, guys. For the weapon Mohur. Is that how you say it? Probably not. Alright, so same guys again. Oh, Demova. Demova is in our guild. Shoutouts. Raccoon City. Hey, Answer. That's 7th Heaven. And FaZe again. FaZe, man. The community misses you, man. The GOAT. Alright, so let's do this again. Boom. Cannot withstand that Aerith Earth Breach. Okay, we'll get 1,000 for this one. So you get 3,000 for the other one, you get 1,000 for this one. So, yeah, definitely do these frenzy battles. Get your free 4,000 crystals. Because 4,000 free crystals is nice. Alright, so outside of that, we got the Dirge of Cerberus event. So this is the second part of it. So inside of this Dirge of Cerberus event, we have the new story. So you can check out the rest of the story for the Dirge event. I'll get to that probably after the video. And then we have a new battle for solos for Nero the Sable 4, and we have the co-op for Nero the Sable 3. So the cool thing about this battle, obviously do your first clears, but also these battles in particular, the Nero Sable 4 and I think the co-op 3, have a chance to encounter a rare enemy. And if you encounter that rare enemy, you'll get these diagnostic reports currency. This essentially looks like save points from the OG FF7. So you can redeem these for a few pretty good things. So you can get the sample data chip S, you can get the sample data chip Z, and you can get the sample data chip C. So what those do, I will show you in a second, but you can also get Cloud-specific weapon parts, you can get Zac weapon parts, you can get Sephiroth weapon parts, and you can get Catalyst, Synth Catalyst, First Light. These are all good things. And then I'll probably farm out the rest of this event. So the best way to do this, obviously, I think I just did the solos. So if you go in here, do the solo, if you're more newer to the game, you don't know about the 9x, definitely do the 9x multiplier and use as much stamina as you can. Get through this event as quickly as possible. I think the rare enemy does occur more often, so that is a good thing. It felt like it was occurring a lot more often for me. If you encounter the Sephiroth enemy, you get a big chunky bonus, but be sure to bring a good Earth DPS to this battle, because the Sephiroth, he's kind of somewhat tanky. He's not a pushover. He's not auto battle pushover. Well, not from my account he is, but you know, for other weaker accounts or newer accounts, he might not be a pushover. So make sure to bring a good Earth DPS for this battle. You know, but you need an Earth DPS anyway for this event anyway, because the enemy is weak to physical Earth. So, but yeah. For farming out this event, you do get those data chip things, like I said. And what those are, you can redeem them in the... Well, after you get those data chips, you go into the missions, and you'll eventually claim these 3 things right here. And you already know where this is going. I already kind of spoiled it somewhat. The Zack outfit, you get a Zack outfit, and he's a Polygon Zack. And that's pretty funny, right? It was pretty cool. So I think this is kind of like tying into like April Fool's Day and whatnot. The costume is nothing crazy. It's just his default stats on his default costume. So, you know, it's nothing, right? It's just here for the aesthetics, which I do appreciate at least, you know. And it does contribute to your high win bonus too. So if you're missing some Zack costumes, some Seph costumes, Cloud costumes, it will contribute to that bonus. So you can get a little bit of extra defense, right, for the high win bonus. There is that at least. That is the Zack outfit, and spoilers, here comes the Cloud outfit. So we love Polygon Cloud in this place. So it's awesome, right? There we go. That is Polygon Cloud. Again, the costume is nothing crazy. It is, well, I have to put it on. So yeah, boost defense, critical potency. So nothing crazy, but it is free. And then we go to the Sephiroth, which honestly, I think this one looks kind of cursed. I don't know what it is, but his polygon looks kind of weird. He looks super skinny or something. I don't know what it is. Or maybe he's super pale. I don't know. But it looks kind of funny. But anyway, there you go. You got your Sephiroth polygon outfit too. What this one does is it's the same as his default costume. This is actually pretty nice though. You get the 15% physical magic ability damage and the boost HP. His default costume is by far better than the other two. So yeah, there you go. Sephiroth costume. Sephiroth polygon costume. And there we go. That is the 3 polygon characters. I kind of want more. Maybe they'll give us a nut more later on. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting my hopes up, but would have been nice to have Polygon Tifa, Polygon Aerith, and Polygon Barrett, you know? So, you know, come on, Applebot, you know. Hope you're seeing this video and throw us a bone. But yeah, I think I appreciate the free cosmetics in this game. All you gotta do is farm out the event, and you'll eventually get those rare battles to get those rare costumes. I think I used like 50 stamina pots total to redeem all the costumes and all the weapon parts. Maybe I got super lucky, but it felt like the rates were better when it came to these rare enemies in the event. Outside of that, we got the new season pass, and that's mostly it when it comes to this game. Metal exchange update. There's going to be weapon parts every Thursday. Well, no, those are for the metal exchange here, the rare weapon metals. So you can get these new... actually, I might as well just redeem these. You get 25 matte ones for 2,000. 25 Lucia parts for 2,000. These ones I always... consider no-brainer. 25 Angio ones for 2,000 as well. Outside of that, I don't really redeem any of them because these ones go to 12,000, which is very, very hefty in my opinion. I just redeemed the first 3 because they're pretty cheap. And then I kind of just sit on my rare weapon medals outside of that. So yeah, I think that's gonna do it for this video, for this Ever Crisis video. If y'all enjoy my Ever Crisis content, please give this video a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all on the next one. Later.